Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to what is the role of Narendra Modi for modern India, Jai Lakhani Hindu Academy. Jai Lakhani, jeez, I cannot speak right now. I'm assuming this is the person they're talking about, and I have no idea who he is or what he does, so let's just go ahead and get started. This was a request, by the way. I don't know.
What do you think
I don't know what this has to do with Hinduism, though. That's kind of weird. But, I mean, maybe it does.
about the use of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's, and I think we can say perhaps to a certain extent, successful use of Hindu nationalism to further his political agenda?
Yes. It's a political question, but I will still take it on because it's necessary. Look, I am inspired by Vivekananda, this modern giant that I talk about. And Narendra Modi is also inspired by Vivekananda. So this is our commonality. We are both inspired by the same spiritual giant. In fact, Narendra Modi wanted to join the Ramakrishna order, become a monk. And those people said, no, work in society. And that's what he's doing. And as this young man just mentioned, he's doing a good job. Because look, you see, this is, I mustn't enter into politics, but I must do this. We have not seen a prime minister or leader of India of this nature. Everyone else was either kind of biased a little bit or kind of there for their personal interest or personal glorification. Here, for the first time, we find an individual who has got absolute 0%, corruption in his system.
Well, I won't say I'm speaking from experience because I'm definitely not. However, it just seems like anything to do with political is always going to be biased. It's always going to be, they're going to do something to their own benefit. It makes sense to a degree. I mean, especially if you have such a very large political divide in the civilization itself. The divide between the left and right in America is getting so big that it seems like the political spectrum of the political leaders that we have to be far left or far right just to get the votes. If you're in the middle, you're kind of lost hope in that weird sense. So it's, I mean, again, like I said, I do believe in political systems. Obviously, they're gonna placate to certain people. They're gonna have biases. We all do, but and they're obviously going to try to work the political system in their favor. This is the nature of the beast, it seems, almost. It's kind of like living life, you're going to ensure your survivability along with the people that you care for and love. So, I mean, that's just life as well, but
His mother used to live in a hut. His brother is selling bananas in the street. They don't get any privilege. He doesn't take any privilege himself. The salary he was earning, he was giving it all away to a girls' institution for free education. Nothing for himself, nothing, this man. 0% corruption. I don't know a single leader in the world today who can really compete with Narendra Modi on this issue. Absolute clean-cut person. Now, he inherited a system which is full of tremendous corruption. India has been listed as one of the most corrupt nations in the world. You can't get...
Really? I'm trying to think if I've heard anything like that. Again, even in the U.S., at least what I pay attention to, it's just there's no talks in India so far as all Ukraine, obviously, Ukraine and Russia, and in the U.S. itself, what I'm getting a feeling is about transgender talks right now in the U.S. and we're bickering amongst each other. Nothing else. Ukraine, transgender, and bickering amongst ourselves about the left and right. Yep, that's about it so far.
Anything done in India unless you put some money under the table. You want to send your child to a good school or top school, well-known school like Eton in India, put money under the table. If you try and put money under the table here, they'll throw you out. They'll imprison you very likely. So whole of India is infected with corruption because of the last government. 70 years of horrendous rule, allowing all corruption to kind of creep up and take over the nation. That's why we are in this. Look, let me give an example. After the Second World War, UK was demolished, infrastructure destroyed, Germany was destroyed, Japan was destroyed, Hiroshima, Nagasaki destroyed. They all fell on the backwaters. We were not destroyed. We got independence same time, 70 years ago. And once we got independence, these nations have risen up and now ruling the world economically and as a civilized society. All these three: civilized society, human dignity preserved, egalitarian society, and they were really prospered in the last 70 years. And after being devastated, we were not devastated. We, in fact, we were given independence. And after 70 years, we were right in the bottom of the league. Most corrupt nation. You see, the reason why I get upset is this.
I would say not the most corrupt nation. I'm sorry, I don't know why I didn't think of North Korea. That is definitely the most corrupt nation. But I get what he's saying about Japan and Germany. I'm not too sure about this. Definitely fact check this. But I do believe Western Germany, because I do believe that was for the Allies at the time, and Japan after World War II got assistance from the Western powers. I think I know the U.S. is very much anti-communist, so I guess they helped out Japan. Again, this is all hypothetical, or hypothetical for me. I just have a feeling that they helped out Japan just to make sure that they don't be part of Russia. Because if you devastate a land and you don't help them out, they're gonna seek help somewhere, and whoever helps them, they're gonna more likely have a great influence into them. And you look at West Germany, East Germany. Again, not very talked about in our history too much either. But I assumed here, making keywords, that is the fact that West was assisted and had maybe a more prosperous nation than the East. But again, I'm not much of I enjoy history, but I am willing to hear out people what they have to say about it. I'm not much of a history buff, but I do enjoy history.
Here you see, people with a lot of money keep grabbing more and more money, and people with no money struggling to survive, eking out a living, don't have clean drinking water. 40% of Indians today, Hindus in India, don't have clean drinking water. No sewage, no toilets. How can you call yourself a civilized nation? Everybody else has moved on and we all seem to have gone down. And the answer is corruption. Very blunt, previous government. So here is Narendra Modi rolling up his sleeves and saying, okay, I'm going to stand against corruption. I will do all this kind of fantastic, kind of very, very difficult task of really kind of attacking this corruption in the system. And when you do that, do you think the corrupt people are going to let him get away? Because they lose their livelihood. They still want to, control them. So they are out to really demolish him. They're all ganging up against him to try and demolish him, destroy him, so that the next election in 2019, they get him kicked out so all the corruption can re-enter India. I'm telling you, if Narendra Modi is killed or leaves the scene, India is back in the dark ages. It's a very horrendous story. So what Narendra Modi did is this. He recognized that the reason why Hinduism has survived as a single civilization over 5,000 years, all other civilizations have come and gone. Hinduism has survived with lots of ups and downs for 5,000 years because this nation focused on higher values rather than material gain. All other civilizations, Roman Empire, whatever empire, they say, okay, let's rule others, let's control Alexander the Great, whatever, control other people. Everybody went out to conquer other people, control other people. Property and possession was the name of the game. Here, this civilization never went out to conquer others. They were very powerful. No, not bothered. Think of higher things. So they were focusing on a spiritual ideal rather than a material ideal or a secular ideal. Because of that, they survived. But after independence, this foolish government decided to adopt a secular model that does not suit that nature, the nation, doesn't suit their temperament. They say, we become like modern Westerner with Nehru. And it demolished the spiritual dignity. Look, I can teach Hinduism at Eton, the top school in the country. I can't teach Hinduism to a single Indian school. You know that? With the compliments of Nehru. They demolished the spiritual dimension of India and brought in this kind of half-baked secularism which has produced such corruption. So this poor Narendra Modi is rolling up in slave. Let us refocus our attention on the spiritual dimension, the spiritual backbone of this nation, the spiritual undercurrent of this nation, to revive it, to refresh it.
Talk about secularism, Jesus. You know what I'm talking about. For some reason I can't speak again. It's kind of weird though. That seems to be the very heart of Hinduism though. It's the fact that they're so accepting. And that's one thing I was kind of wondering. Is that that maybe the Indian people is the reason why they didn't go out. Is they're very nice, very kind, and they don't how do I say, enforce their own beliefs on anyone else, so they're maybe looked at as kind of like a pushover to a degree. But that's, I guess, and that's the thing that I personally, kind of experienced myself. I'm generally a nice person, and I generally get taken advantage of as well. So that's the reason why And I think generally speaking, Asian people tend to be quite pushovers, as in they don't tend to fight back. They tend to take things a much more than other races, and I think that could be an issue in a sense. But again, Hinduism being very open, very nice, and very just accepting of things, that is, in a sense, secularism. Can't say that word, but that's very much it. I mean, I don't know honestly what it sucks because when you're so open and so friendly, and then you have these other people who are just trying to take advantage of you. If you try to stop them, you're kind of going against your beliefs at the moment, or at the time. And I just don't know, like, there's just terrible people out there who are going to look to take advantage of people, who will push their ideas on people, while you out here are just trying to be nice and kind and talk about your ideas and explain to them why maybe they want to follow your ways of life as opposed to someone else, or even say that just tell them that, like, whatever way of life is your choice, because we accept all, whereas the other people are going to be like, no, ours is the right way, this is the only way, and you must follow this way and no other way, all other ways are false. It's kind of it's like again, just nice people being taken advantage of because they're too nice. I do believe that is a thing in society, that too nice of a people generally just get taken advantage of all the time. So I just don't know what a solution to that will be, honestly.
And that is the poor guy is doing it. But all these forces, look, they've been there, embedded in the system for 70 years. Even within his own party, I'm sure there are lots of corrupt people embedded in the system. So it's very difficult for him to pull them out, like a huge virus inside the system. And it's very difficult to fight this virus, but he's doing his best. And I wish him well, because if he doesn't succeed, we are in big trouble, I'm telling you. This is why, to revive and refresh, re-dignify the nation, focus on the spiritual aspect rather than the secular or material aspect that we are now focusing on. That is what he's trying to do. It's not easy.
Okay. I'll say this. Don't know if it's going to be popular or not, but I hope people listen and try to understand. It's the sheer fact that, again, like the United States, if it becomes corrupt, it's going to be absolutely our fault, regardless if there's outside influence or not. We have control over this nation, we the people, and we need to take responsibility for our leaders, and we need to ensure that they're doing the right thing. It's not easy. Nothing is ever easy, especially when it comes to politics or anything that's worth a dang. Anything that's worthwhile doesn't come easy. And that's what I hope the people of India realize, is that, you have your independence. There could be outside influence, but you need to have responsibility for your country, much like any other country out there. Look at Ukraine, Russia, Japan, any country, Germany, Jesus. But just any country, it doesn't matter. The people have to be involved, and that's, I think, the problem also in the United States, is the fact that, I don't know, not a lot of people is into politics. I'm one of those people too. I have to take blame of that, because politics is such trash, and there's just it's picking one trash over another. It feels like that. But nonetheless, I mean, you have to be responsible for your votes. You have to be responsible for who you pick. You have to be responsible for your leaders. You have to show commitment to your country to make sure that your country swings in the right direction and not just go way out of control. That's why, if I ever have an influence anywhere in the United States, honestly, I don't care which side you vote, so long as you do your research. Make sure that the people that you're voting for has your interest in mind and are not freaking liars. That's very hard to find non-liars in politics, though. So try to find the one that least lies, the least corrupt, because they're more than likely all corrupt in some way. But I would say, if I had any kind of influence, and what I'd say to the American people, if I could, if you don't find any of the two political parties to be good, vote third party. As a matter of fact, I would say one of the third parties to everyone to vote for. I would never ever, and generally speaking, would ever tell anyone to vote Democrat or Republican. You vote how you vote. Make sure you vote appropriately, though. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you do research from both sides and not just one side. But to just get a movement going to say vote for the Tea Party. I don't know what the middle ground parties are. I just say everyone vote Tea Party. Irrelevant whether you agreed with it or not. If you're just not going to vote, this will do a couple of things. I say two, but there could be a couple. One is to get you into voting, because there are people out there who would never vote because they just don't like the political party. But that's one, to at least get you into the idea of what it takes to vote. And then whenever there's a real politician out there that you actually want, then you know the process of voting. Two, hopefully there's enough vote in this third party that people start going, there's a movement for this third party. Maybe we should look into it. Maybe there should be some finances going into a third party, so that we don't have a flip of a coin of a political system here. It's heads or tails, and that's about it. There's no 3 or 4-sided die that you get to roll. But yeah, so I think that's about it really for the if I had influence over the United States, and I'd say just vote third party. People who don't want to vote, vote third party. People who don't see any good in between the left and the right, or the Democrat and the Republican, vote third party. That way, hopefully, that the third party gets enough views, enough likes, or enough subscribes down below. Enough of a vote that people start taking the third party seriously, honestly. And then hopefully we at least have 3 options instead of 2. And hopefully it'll freaking fracture the political system too. I mean, it needs a jolt or something. It's dying. But again, this is obviously we all have criticisms within our own government and within our own country. We all must take responsibility for our country. We all must get people to vote, even again if it's to. Let me explain this. There are people who vote for the opposite party not because they wanted to, but because they didn't like the other candidate. I get it, honestly I do. It's like trash. I don't want that one to. I don't want that trash to win. So I'll vote for this one. And I want to change that. I want to try to change that. I want to change that. Just leave it that way. I want to change that. Let's go to put the third trash pile right there, and you just go ahead and make it grow too. I don't know, just rambling here. But yeah, I do believe in all that stuff. Obviously, we have to take responsibility for our countries. We the people should be running the country. Honestly, we should be. We have the power to vote. My problem is people don't know this. The people, the masses, don't know this. And I have this kind of odd belief that I think the political system or the political parties are trying to confuse the people and have the people fight amongst each other, so they don't see the crap that the political party system is doing. And I don't know. There's no facts on that one. I don't know. It's just a feeling. Which seems like there could be some truth to there, so they don't see how trash one party or the other party is. They just let them fight amongst each other and say, vote for me because I will do good. Anyways, that's a really weird tangent from this one. Has almost nothing to do with Hinduism in some sense, but anyways, went all political up in this joint. So this is the my reaction to what is the role of Narendra Modi for modern India. Jay Lakhani. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.